Hey guys, what's happening? Sorry I haven't posted a video in a few days. I've been a little under the weather. I've got a head cold, just not feeling so great. But hey, I'm back and hope you guys enjoy my videos. I'd like to ask you to once again hit the like down there and then hit the subscribe, and so that way you can get a notification whenever I have a video, and you can share my videos with people you know. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can and help them observe the ketogenic diet and lifestyle, and reverse those comorbidities and just feel better in general. And if you know someone that could benefit from that, I would just love it if you would share. Also, you can go to my Facebook page, Keto Simplicity. And I'm always sharing recipes and other people's messages out there. Living Vida or La Vida Low Carb, Jimmy Moore, sharing his stuff all the time. Dr. Ken Berry, Thomas DeLauer, Maria Emmerich. I'm sharing all their stuff all the time, and so yeah, there's lots of information, and I just want to be one more piece to that puzzle if I can help someone. So anyway, today I want to talk about some myths of the ketogenic diet. The first one I want to talk about is ketogenic diet isn't good for athletes, and that's just not true. There's been a number of studies done where athletes actually thrive on the ketogenic diet. They have better body composition, sparing their lean muscle mass. Body composition meaning that their fat to muscle ratio is optimal. And there's specifically been studies done with CrossFitters. Dr. Jeff Volek did a study. Actually, he's with the University of Ohio, or the Ohio State University, excuse me, and he did a study with military soldiers, and remarkably, they found that their overall body composition was improved. They had less lean muscle mass loss, and they just did really well on it, on the ketogenic diet. And so if it's good for soldiers, it's good for me. I mean, those guys, they are working hard out there in the less than desirable conditions that they're in. So yeah, those are just some quick examples of why it is good for athletes. I mean, you think about it, you're consuming fat and protein. You've got plenty of energy, so why wouldn't it be good for weightlifting and endurance exercise? So yeah, no problems there. The next one is that keto diet is bad for diabetes. Well, if it's bad for diabetes, then why did 60% of diabetics in a trial reverse their diabetes after 1 year? And why did 94% of diabetics that did the trial after 1 year, they didn't have the need for insulin any longer? So it's just not true. The ketogenic diet is actually really good for diabetes. I can vouch for that myself because I have type 2 diabetes, as I've stated prior, and I am off of all of my insulin and oral medications, and my blood sugars are normal. So I mean, it's great for that, for diabetes. Um, I just don't understand how people can continue to say that when there's been so much proof that the ketogenic way of life has ended up reversing or improving many people's diabetes. Uh, so that's the diabetes myth busted right there. Uh, Another one, keto is bad for heart health and will raise your cholesterol. So the only thing that's really going to raise on your cholesterol on the ketogenic diet is possibly your LDL, because you require more transport mechanisms for fat. LDL is a transport for fat. So you got more people, you need more cars, right? More buses to get them around. So you've got more fat that's flowing through the system. It's going to your liver. Your liver turns it into ketones. Instead of storing it, you're using it for energy, and it's a very efficient way to live. The ketogenic diet, whenever you're burning fat, it's your body prefers to run on ketones. So even if you slide, which I hope you don't. But if you do, after about 6 to 8 weeks, you become what's called fat adapted. So it's easier to kick back into ketosis because your body has has a preference. Excuse me, easy for me to say, for ketones. So yeah, that's just not true. That the heart health is affected. There was a meta-analysis done, incorporated 447 patients, found that low carb diets not only helped individuals lose weight, but it also improved their cholesterol. So yeah, that's just not true. There's so much. There's meta-analysis. There's epidemiological studies. There is just human-based studies that prove that keto is excellent for correcting high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, many other autoimmune things it helps with. So arthritis, those types of things. It's just there's too many things to list how keto is good for the body and for your overall health. The next one is the keto is not good for your gut. Okay, so that's not true. There actually been studies that have proved that the the people on keto have actually made their GERD, their gastroesophageal reflux disease, better. It improves it. Now, if you're on keto and it seems like you're still having your issues with GERD, you can take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and 8 ounces of water. You can do that twice a day, morning and night. Not only will it help with your mineral uptake, but and also with your GERD, but it will also help with your blood glucose levels. If you have issues with running a little bit high of blood glucose levels, apple cider vinegar is a great way to help stabilize your blood sugar. Now, I don't normally recommend products, but there is one that I recommend for the apple cider vinegar, and it's the Bragg's, and it has with the mother on it. And that one, it has the good probiotics. It hasn't been pasteurized and killed all the good bacteria in it. So it actually is good for your gut as well. The more you can proliferate your gut with probiotics, not necessarily probiotic capsules, but just the foods you eat, apple cider vinegar, kimchi, sauerkraut, anything fermented, you're going to increase your probiotics into your gut. It will help with leaky gut. It will take up more space so bad bacteria can't populate. Once a niche is populated by a good bacteria, other ones can't come in and replace them. They'll just fight them off. So if you have leaky gut, that's a great way to fix it. Keto is a great way to fix it. So yeah, that's a debunked myth right there. We're solving problems here today. So keto causes or worsens fatty liver disease. So European Association for the Study of Liver actually cites a low-carb diet as a way to treat the disease. Studies show that the cutting carbohydrates, and particularly fructose or sugar from plants, works to improve liver fat metabolism, which we've talked about before with the fatty liver. Fructose, your liver doesn't know what to do with it, so it just turns it into triglycerides, and it stores it in your abdomen, around your organs, in your liver. It stores it there, so you become fatty liver, and your liver doesn't function properly, so then you start having things like insulin resistance and all that kind of metabolic syndrome, all that kind of stuff. It's just a cascade downhill. You don't want to go down that road. So the ketogenic diet, obviously you're burning fat for fuel, so you're just gobbling up fat. Your insulin levels, you keep your insulin levels low, so then you're having lipolysis, which is lipo meaning fat and lysis meaning like the breaking or the cutting. So you're breaking down fat for energy. So you're gobbling up that fat in your liver, you're gobbling up that fat in your pancreas, you're gobbling up all that fat around your abdomen. And so, yeah, just like that military study with Jeff Volek, the soldiers, they noticed a big occurrence of loss of weight around the abdomen. So yeah, that's where it targets it. It's stored there for ease of use in times of dire need. And if you're doing keto, you're burning fat for energy, so it knows it doesn't need that. It says, "Oh, I'm getting plenty of fat. I'm just going to go ahead. My insulin level's low. I'm just going to eat it up." So that's what happens. So that's that one debunked. The next one is you'll lose sleep on the ketogenic diet. Well, that's not true. I sleep like a baby on the ketogenic diet. I know before I was on keto, I'd wake up sweating and hot. I would have like, it was terrible. I don't know. It was like I had tuberculosis or something. I mean, I just was in a pool of sweat, and my sleep sucked. But now with those just normal glucose levels and normal insulin levels, it just lets you sleep so well. You're not getting, it's not interfering with your REM and your deep cycle and your light sleep, where it's causing you to bump out of those and wake up. So that's they did a survey of 1,580 low carb consumers published in the late 2017 by the Journal of Insulin Resistance, and found that while the normal 11% of respondents reported using sleep aids before beginning their low carb diet, less than 5% reported using them after their diet. So nearly 7 in 10 reported improved quality of sleep after dieting, while only 3.4% said their sleep quality had worsened. So that tells you right there, between my experience and that study from the Journal of Insulin Resistance, that proves that there's no issue with sleep on the ketogenic diet. Now, if you're doing fasting, sometimes you're just wired, and you have a hard time sleeping, but other than that, no, there's no issue with the ketogenic diet specifically and sleep. Next one, keto can cause gallbladder problems. Yeah, not really. I mean, if you don't have a gallbladder, then keto may cause an issue. You may have some diarrhea and stuff because you're not secreting enough bile salts to break down the fats that you're consuming. But your liver's turning that fat to ketones, so it's not really that big of an issue. There have been multiple studies that have found that diets higher in fat prevent gallstone formation. So that right there tells you. And I can leave some links to the video, to these studies down below, so that you can click on them and read them for yourself if you'd like. Yeah, that's just some stuff that I've read. And then also the gallstone development is decreased with diets. Diets low in carbohydrates. So that's the ketogenic diet. It reduces lean muscle mass. We've already talked about that. That's absolutely not true. It spares lean muscle because you're burning fat. Your mTOR is low. mTOR is the mammalian target of rapamycin that is involved with protein synthesis. So if your mTOR is low, autophagy is high. If your insulin levels are low, lipolysis is high. So it's sparing your muscle. There's no risk for burning up your lean muscle. Calorie restrictive diets, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, those kind of things, then yes, you do end up burning some muscle because your calorie levels are so low that you're gonna slow your metabolism down to the point that it goes after your muscle. Excuse me. So, yeah, that's the case with that. There's no issues with that. And then the last one I think I'm going to cover here is keto's not good for long-term weight management, and that's just not true either. We talked about the diabetes reversal in the patients on keto for 1 year had 60% reversal of their diabetes, and then 94% of the participants had decrease or actually didn't need insulin any longer. So, but there was studies that have demonstrated that the keto diet may in fact be ideal for long-term weight management. One meta-analysis found that individuals following a very low-carbohydrate ketogenic diet lost more weight in 1 year than lost on low-fat diets. There was a survey published in the Journal of Insulin Resistance that found that 3 of 4 respondents on a low-carb diet reported losing 10 pounds or more. 1/3 reported losing more than 30 pounds, and 6 out of 10 respondents who were on the diet for 2 years or more reported losing 20 pounds or more, and 46% said they lost 3 inches on their waist. So there you go. There goes that waist thing again, where your body's just going to gobble up its fat stores because it doesn't need them. It just flat doesn't need them. You're on the keto diet, you're in ketosis, and you're burning fat for fuel. So your body's not stupid. It knows, hey, I don't need this stuff, so I'm going to burn it up. So I hope that's helps dispel some myths for you if it's been kept you from doing keto, or you think that you've been not doing it full fledged because you're just kind of worried about some of these myths. I hope we've busted a few of them today, and share this with some folks if they've got some concerns. I know you're probably hearing things from people saying these very things that keto aren't good for this and that, but now you've got some evidence in hand, and you can go right after them and have a good argument and tell them why it is, and maybe you'll convince them that they need to do keto as well. So again, like and share and subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.